And we are live again with Dana. And today we have an interesting topic. We will be talking about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is something that happens to everybody that goes on stage. I think there is nobody that will go on stage and think, oh, I know everything will go okay. There is always this idea, if we have any degree of responsibility, that we might not bring the things that people are looking for. So this is something that we are always imagining something might happen, something could be a problem. Okay. So today, as always, it will be myself, Filipe Carrera. I have some experience in stage. I have been working as a trainer, as a speaker for the last, it will be complicated in terms of time to say this. It will be almost 29 years. I started 29 years ago as a trainer. I did my train the trainer course, so it's that's a sign that I'm old. And Dana, can you introduce yourself also briefly?
Certainly. Before I do so, I imagine, had you had a son or a daughter when you started your career, can you imagine how old, how achieved he or she would have been by now, already at university? So yeah, my name is Dana, and Dana Horvath. I am a mind trainer, neuro-linguistic programming coach, and a voice activator. When you started speaking, Filipe, I was thinking, oh my God, I don't have the answers to every single question. So obviously this is a sign of imposter syndrome. I'm going to be talking about it right away.
Okay. So we will, as always, we will address some questions, but also if you want to participate as an audience member, you can also participate with your questions, and I will be looking to the chat. So from time to time, I look to the other side. So this is perfectly okay. So
yes,
but I have a first question for you, Dana. How we deal with our inner critic and, let's say, the cheerleaders, because it's like the angel and the devil that we have in us. How we deal with this fight between the inner critic that always say it's not good enough, it will not be good enough, and the other ones that you are the greatest, you are fantastic. That many times you get some self-help books that, oh, you just have to believe, and things like this. In this battle of the titans, who wins?
I don't think it's about a win per se. First of all, like you said, we have this inner devil and angel voices. So let's accept them both. Yes. The inner critic, it's easy with the inner critic because when you hear it, first of all, be aware of it. When you hear these voices or these thoughts, when you have these thoughts, you can just simply say it, oh, shut up already. It's like a nagging friend that keeps nagging you. Oh, shut up already. Do not give it power. Like, do not believe 100% this inner critic, because it's not a natural one. What do I mean? We are not born with it. So if we're not born with it, it's something we acquire in life. Therefore, when we observe these thoughts, we can just go, okay, I hear you, and I choose to go ahead with my topic. I've done my best, and I'm doing my best right now, And this is for the inner critic. Well, the hype squad, we don't want to shoot that one, do we? We want this cheerleader to actually continue to be active for us. And overall, I think it's good to be grounded, to be realistic. I'm not the best in my field. I'm working on that. And I'm not either the worst in my field. So I by observing and by accepting that I'm always and continuously doing my best, the inner critic will then be a bit tamed, will start to listen to you because you are the boss of your own thoughts after all, aren't you?
Yeah, you are dealing with your presentation. It is your presentation. It is your content. It is your knowledge.
Indeed, yeah. And so these thoughts that result from this syndrome, interesting, we have a syndrome of the mind, right? We can tame them by simply listening to them and say, okay, I hear you, and I choose to go ahead. I choose to stay strong in my speech because I know what I'm capable of. Of course, on stage, you don't have time to have all of this inner dialogue. So when you're on stage, you can just simply say, I hear you, and I let you go. I hear you, and I choose to stay strong. I own my ground, Test it. Test it. Everything that Filipe and I are sharing with you is for testing and
Yeah.
see what you can get.
Practice, practice, practice. Always.
Always. And speaking of practice, when we don't feel very confident on stage, we can sometimes think of ourselves of being in the role that we think we are. So kind of, so to say, fake it till you make it, right, Filipe? With the practice. No? For example, if you are not a top manager, you can, but you'd like to be, you can act the way that you can be. So Filipe can tell us more about it. Can we fake it till we make it, or own it, like own the stage from the start?
It is always a little bit dangerous to be fake, because when you are fake, the audience will notice that you are fake, because unless you are an Oscar-winning actor, you will never make it very well. But you can address several things. First of all, nobody knows what are you talking, what you will be talking about. So this is something that I always give an advice. No one has the script of your presentation. So people are not following, he missed a line. Oh, he missed a word. It's not like that. So you can create that role. And the most important thing is you are the best person in delivering your own experience. So if you anchor your presentations to your experience, to what you learn from it, you will be much more in control of anything that you present. This is extremely important, because many times people think that if I'm going to do a presentation of a topic, basically it's like kind of reading a book for everybody. It's not. Nobody goes to listen to a book with legs. They go to listen to somebody that brings their own experience about a knowledge that maybe he got it from books, maybe he got it from experience, maybe it was from a circumstance, but it's about the person's view. And this is very important, because many times people think I'm here to present something, and there is no human element on that.
There's no such concept, of course.
So you need to bring that. But there is another thing. There is another problem. Let's say like a sub-syndrome with this imposter syndrome. And you arrive to a place and you have this sub-syndrome. I really don't belong here. Is this something that only me or you or somebody else, but nobody else feels it? Or this is something that is more common?
This is a general fear that we pick up. We are not born with this fear. We are not born with such a syndrome. We are generally born healthy, right? So it's the voice of a fear that wants to protect us, wants us to shush, and that's why our palms sweat, our heart beats like crazy, and we become red in face. So what's to be done? Let's look at some practical tips. Would you like that?
Yes, please. We are here for that.
Yes. So in terms of thinking, because we always have the power of thinking, is to remember we are not alone. Everyone has this kind of so-called syndrome, right? Secondly, do not compare yourself with others. It is not helpful to compare ourselves with others because you are unique, like you said before, and you have something
Dana, that is extremely important, because I remember when I started with my career as a trainer, I tried to emulate others.
Right.
And this is exhausting, because you will never
Yes.
be able to do it, and you will not be yourself. Sorry to interrupt.
Actually, you've added a very valuable point in here, and I couldn't agree more. When we copy others, we strive to become of the same level as the other, but you need to be unique because you have your unique talents. Yeah. The third thing is, like you said before, Filipe, is to practice, practice, practice. So go on stage, feel the fear, and go against it. Stay there, feel the fear in your hands, in your back, in your legs. And if you want, you can test this. Say to your fear, I feel you, and I let you go. I feel you, and I let you go. If it doesn't help, try another thing. I feel you, and I choose not to. I feel you, and I choose not to. And I choose to feel confident. I choose confidence. I choose confidence. Just say this to your inner voice, and it's gonna be like, okay, boss, I got it already.
So burying your head inside the sand is not a good advice. It is better to be aware that this exists.
Oh, certainly. And we all have it. Remember that you're not crazy. You're not alone. You're not the only one. We all Tame. We are all in the training of overcoming this imposter syndrome. And you're not an imposter. You are a unique, talented trainer or speaker who is there to serve. When you remember that, you serve from the heart, the inner critic will be like, okay, I'm going to go take a walk. And I know time goes very fast, Felipe, so I'm going to go to another question for you. When we make mistakes on stage, and then right after one makes a mistake is like, oh my God, did I say that aloud? Like, oh, did everyone hear it? How can we overcome that?
Well, the short advice is embrace it.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
you know that there is something that is very powerful, is when you make humor using yourself.
It's
the safest humor that you can use, because nowadays, especially in a world that a lot of things are offensive, there is something that is not offensive, is when you joke about yourself. When you do a mistake, embrace it, joke about it, and in many cases in my work, I even use that in order to enhance the presentation. And you know what? Many times you just created a memorable moment of your presentation. That moment that people do remember. It was not a mistake, but it was in a way the wrong place to do so. So I do remember that once I was doing a presentation in an embassy with business people and the ambassador, all the team of the embassy. And there was a question about kind of upselling. The topic was upselling. And I love to do benchmarkings. And I only had in my mind a time that I went to a strip club. Actually, it was the first time I went to a strip club.
Oh, God.
And somebody took me there. It was not my initiative. I went there, and I end up using the example of how strippers were doing their upselling. And it was very interesting because I analyzed their script. I think nobody goes to a strip club and analyzes the sales speech
Some
of the strippers. Probably they see a lot of other things except that. So because I'm a bit of a nerd, I went that. And people still remember that from that presentation, because that was the example that they will never forget. So it was not a kind of mistake, because I said, look, I'm going to say something that will be very strange,
will blow your mind.
Bear with me. So it was a way of creating a different perspective. And like you were saying, time is really, really, really finishing, but I have a last question for you.
Shoot.
In terms of this imposter syndrome, there is a thing that can be a weapon, that is how you rewrite the story in your head. And the
perspective.
Let's say the power of perspective. What do you say about that?
You've got to train. You've got to train your mind to continuously see different perspectives of a situation. Say you go to the gym and you're learning to work on a new machine, and it looks familiar somehow, and you think, I can work with this. But pay attention, look at every single side of this machine, because it might hurt you or it might help you. So train your mind for seeing different perspectives. Even ask yourself, which perspective have I not seen? Which angle have I not analyzed this from? You know, be curious, just like a man is curious about a new woman. Speaking of, of the topic you mentioned.
I started something.
So when you want to discover a woman's body, you're going to start bit by bit, right? Which perspective have I not seen? Which angle have I not seen? Which part have I not seen? Same with situations when the imposter syndrome kicks in. I mean, what can I do and how can I overcome it? Because it can be tamed. Remember, you are the boss of your own thoughts. So learn to train to observe your emotions, your thoughts, and learn to override them. You can, just because you want it. Set the intention and test it.
This is a topic that we could be here talking for a long time.
Oh God,
because during our careers, we've felt it many, many times, but there is this solitude of thinking that it's only me. Others, we see them on stage so confident, so firm, they never felt it, but it's not true. Everybody at some stage, they feel it. And we need to, you need to address it. You need to, like you were saying, address it and be conscious about it, and even play with it. Many times, even you can use it. It can be even a starter of a presentation.
Like when you're on stage, for instance, you can visualize that the hologram comes out of your body, which is the hologram of your imposter. And you, because you simply want it, and you say, okay, step away.
That is very nerdy.
A hologram, exactly. Oh, next to me is my hologram of my imposter syndrome. Hello, take a seat. I'm going to deal with you later.
My alter ego and my imposter syndrome.
Exactly. So test it. If you visualize easily, test that and let us know how it goes for you guys.
Okay, and that's it for now. More to come. And Dana, once again, thank you very much for sharing. These are moments that are not only for our audience. For me, it's also a time to reflect, to see that I'm not alone in this kind of feelings.
There's a song as well. If you forget that, play the song. You're not alone.
So
that syndrome is
thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you for having me, and have a good evening, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.